Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. So happy to see everybody. We've got people from all over. We've got people from Florida, people from New York, people from Texas. We are delighted to be able to celebrate Shabbat together. It's a very special Shabbat. Last week, we spoke about the importance of Mother's Day weekend. And Erev Shabbat, we talked a lot about mothers and about the importance of motherhood. And on that Shabbat, our cantor, VADIM, TUNITSKY'S mother, ZHENYA, LEBEDEVA, passed away. She transitioned into the next world at the age of 98 years old. And she lived a long life, and we're delighted to be able to continue to celebrate motherhood for all those who are connected to their mothers of blessed memory, to their mothers who are still with us and who are mothers, to be able to acknowledge that transition of life as well as the transition of Torah. I'll be speaking a little bit more about that in a little bit, but for now, let's wish each other Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Yes, we bring in the Shabbat with spirit, we bring in the Shabbat with song, and we bring in the Shabbat with light. Anyone who has candles with them, feel free to light your candles at home and to enjoy the lights here. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, God, ruler of all, who makes us holy with commandments, commanding us to light the lights of Shabbat. Cantor.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Ну, сначала чего?
Most of us have seen the beautiful movie Fiddler on the Roof. And there's a beautiful scene in there where the parents are blessing the table and blessing the evening. And the Sabbath prayer that they sing to their children is a delight. Cantor.
May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. May you come to be in Israel a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from the strangers' ways. May God bless you and grant you long life. May God fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you. May God keep you and shield you from strife. May God in wisdom Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor him, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our servant's prayer.
Many of us have our knowledge of Eastern Europe from the movie Fiddler on the Roof, which is the home of Cantor Vadim and his family, where they began their journey long, long ago. Many of us Ashkenazi Jews have also had roots. My grandparents were born in Russia. My wife's grandparents were born in Russia. And this is the roots of many of our traditions. And so we also remember a Yiddish Mama, a beautiful song connecting us to the Yiddish Mama. Cantor.
Jüdische Mame, es gibt nicht besser in der Welt. Jüdische Mame, oi wie bitter, wenn sie fällt. Wie schön und nichtig ist in der Häuser, wenn die Mame sie tut. Wie traurig finster wird, wenn Gott nimmt den Ruf vor dem Abut. In Wasser und Feuer, wo sie gelaufen vor ihr Kind. Jeder hat in ihre Teuer, das ist gewiss die größte Ziel. Oi, wie gelieblich und recht ist der Mensch Busut, was das schöne Matone geschenkt viele Gott, nur ein altischke jüdische Mama.
There are 6 words in Torah, in the book of Deuteronomy, that unite us as a people. These 6 words begin with the word for listen, Shema, and end with the word for one, Echad. And here we are in different cities and different places, listening to each other and coming together as one. Wherever you are, we sing the Shema together, as well as the second line. We sing the Shema together. We hear each other in our hearts as the cantor leads us in the watchword of our faith.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevad Malchuto Leolam Faed.
Hear, O Israel, the Eternal One is our God, the eternal God alone. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Achad Ha'am, a great Israeli scholar, said more than Israel has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept Israel. And so we sing Vishamru. Vishamru means, and we will keep the Sabbath, reminding us in all time that the Holy One, blessed be He, created the world in 6 days, and on the 7th day God rested and was refreshed. We refresh ourselves with the beautiful rendition of Vishamru. We will protect Shabbat with everything we've got.
ושם מרוב בני ישראל אל השבת עודד השבת לדורות הברית עולם ושם מרוב בני ישראל אל השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם בין יוון בני ישראל בין יוון בני ישראל עוד הילה עולם ושם מרוב בני ישראל אל השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם כי ששת ימים כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים והארץ ושם מרוב בני ישראל אל השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ושם מרוב בני ישראל אל השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם
We greet each other at the beginning of the service by saying Shabbat Shalom. At the end of service, we'll say Shabbat Shalom again. Our most precious gift is the gift of peace. And this is the one thing that we ask on Shabbat, that we have a Shabbat of Shalom, that we are able to be peaceful in our homes, be able to be peaceful in the world, be able to share the great wonder of peace that God has provided. Shalom Rav al Yisrael.
Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Ad Yisrael Amcha Tashem Leolam. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Ad Yisrael Amcha Tashem Leolam. Ki ata Melech Adon, Alech Torah Shalom. Ki ata Melech Ad Yisrael Amcha
As we think about peace, let's take a few moments of silent, quiet prayer, each of us connecting to God in our own way. And after a little bit of silence in our hearts, may we be moved by the music of the violin. Your wisdom, God, you renew each day the miracle of creation. Yet we, your children, tend to accept the awesome rise of the warming sun without the courtesy of a silent thanks. So too it is when that first chaste cry of a new human soul pierces our time-misted dreams. We think that the clay is ours to mold, that we will bend its shape and define its form. Perhaps that is why you've given us a time such as this, to pause, to reflect, to wonder about the precious uniqueness of every separate being. The twig grows out from the branch in the direction of its own choice, and a child nods to the parent as he sets on his own course. As mothers and as fathers, we acknowledge that too as a miracle, and offer thanks that your own parenthood, God, of this humble race, has shown how love may ease the path. May the words of our mouths, the meditations of our hearts, be a delight to God, our rock and our redeemer. May the Holy One who makes peace in the heavens grant peace to us, to all Israel, and to all humanity.
ויחיו לרצון אמרתי, ויחיו לרצון אמרתי, והגיעו לי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart, be acceptable before thee. O Lord, my rock and my
You can still hear me? There you go. The picture that we've been looking at is ZHENYA, LEBEDEVA, the mother of Cantor VADIM TUNITSKY and his brother Alex. Lauren, you can end the share now. Thank you. One of the things that I've come to embrace and really love about the study of Torah is how often it gives us the opportunity for the celebration of transitions. It just so happens that on this Shabbat, the Shabbat that is after Mother's Day, the Shabbat that Cantor TUNITSKY, the Cantor TUNITSKY is actually celebrating his birthday today. And it's also the Shabbat that comes right after the holiday of Lag BaOmer. We are in the midst of the counting of the Omer, the time, a sacred time between Passover and Shavuot. From the time we left Egypt, the crossing of the Red Sea, to the time when we received the Ten Commandments. 7 weeks after Passover, we get Shavuot. And on this Shabbat, right after Lag BaOmer, the not quite midpoint of the Omer, but a time of break and celebration from that somber time, on this Shabbat, we also transition from the end of Leviticus into the beginning next week of the next book of the Bible, Numbers. And this last portion in Leviticus talks about a break, talks about a change of time. It talks about the change of time in agriculture. Well, yes, we were an agricultural society. And what it talks about is the need for the land to take a break. Every 7 years, the land is supposed to be given a break. Every 7 years, and God says in the Torah that in the 6th year, we're to harvest as much that will last us through the 7th and the beginning of the 8th, that we're supposed to have that faith that we can give the land a break and we'll still have enough. Well, it's very interesting that we have this transition of a pause at the end of Leviticus, because Leviticus has given us all these different rules, all these regulations to follow, and then this becomes the punctuation of it. This becomes almost the most important one, to say, here we are at the end of all these other regulations, to give the land a break, to change times, to have a jubilee, to be able to let go your slaves, to be able to let go of your debts, to be able to let go of those who owe you. This is a change, this is a transition. And from one book of the Bible is a transition. The next book is called Bamidbar, in the wilderness, that mysterious journey from one place to another, and the bridge between the rules of Leviticus to the retelling in Deuteronomy. Well, it's interesting that on this Shabbat, we're also celebrating the transition of a woman who has brought life into the world. ZHENYA was a beloved woman, loved by hundreds and hundreds. On her tombstone, she requested just 4 words: people, I loved you. And at the young age of 19, she volunteered for the Russian army, volunteered to help fight the Nazis. She was someone who helped fight the Nazis, and you saw in the picture, she was a decorated soldier as a very, very young girl. And then 50 years later, at the age of 69, she got a master's degree in literature from Brooklyn College. This is a woman who knew about transitions, transitioning from Russia to America, transitioning from being a soldier to being a mother, to being an immigrant, to being a student. This is a person who put so much love into her life, and she was loved by many. This is a lesson that we have from people and from Torah, that we love the land enough to give it a break. And perhaps this is a way to think about our own existence, that when we get too bogged down in things, we need to give things a break. We need to have a chance to rest from one thing to another. I'm always excited that this particular Torah portion comes right around the time of the end of the school year. We give children a chance to take a break from one thing to another. So often, this means going to summer camp and enjoying being Jewish kids together and learning in a different way. And unfortunately, most of the summer camps are not holding session this summer. And so perhaps we need a different kind of a break. We need the kind of a break that allows us to quiet down a little bit, to spend more time in nature, to spend more time with our families, to be able to perhaps read a little bit more, write a little bit more, connect on the phone, connect through email, connect in every way we can. When the land gets its break every 7 years, it comes back rejuvenated. It comes back flowing. It comes back with a great big harvest. And so after this break that we don't know how long it will be, this break that we have in quarantine, in isolation, whatever we want to call it, this break can be about our own rejuvenation, our own way of looking toward the future, looking to how we want to delve closer into ourselves, closer into our families, closer into our studies. And perhaps that's one of the reasons why at the end of studying a book of Torah, when we finish reading one book and prepare for the next book, we say the words, Chazak, Chazak, v'nitchazek. Be strong, and you will be strengthened. Because our learning is part of what strengthens us. Our rest is part of what strengthens us. Resting the land and letting it replenish. And, of course, our Shabbat is part of what strengthens us. Resting from the week and rejuvenating ourselves to be able to start a new week. And so we say with joy that we've completed the book of Leviticus, Chazak, Chazak, v'nitchazek, or in the melody written by songwriter Julie Silver. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strong, and you will be strengthened. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strengthened, my friends. Be strengthened with the rest of Shabbat. Be strengthened with the learning about resting of the land. Be strengthened with the memory of ZHENYA and the memory of perhaps your own mother, or perhaps a grandmother, or someone else who's been part of your life, who showed strength, who showed wisdom, and who showed love. And now we're going to hear a lovely song called In the Trenches, which was one of ZHENYA's favorites. Shabbat Shalom.
Бьется в тесной печурке огонь, на пареньях смола, как слеза, и поет мне землянки гармонь про улыбку твои глаза. Про тебя мне шептали кусты в белоснежных полях под Москвой. Я хочу, чтобы слышала ты, как тоскует мой голос живой. Ты сейчас далеко-далеко, между нами снега и снега. До тебя мне дойти нелегко, а до смерти 4 шага. Пой, гармоника, в юге назло, заплутавшая счастье зови. Мне в холодной землянке тепло от моей негасимой любви. Мне в холодной землянке тепло от моей негасимой любви.
And so now we have the opportunity to offer our own prayers to all those individuals who we are thinking about at this time, who need a little bit of extra prayer, who need a little bit of healing. And we're going to offer the Misha Barak prayer. If you have somebody who you're thinking about, who you'd like to have added to the list, feel free to type the name in the chat section, and we'll offer, after we hear the cantor sing the first stanza, then we'll read some names out loud, offer our prayers for all those in need, and then we'll conclude with the second stanza, enveloping all those names into our prayers. Misha Barak.
May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
We offer our prayers for Al Marks, Alice Kaufman, Arnold Farber, Bela Batmeda Brina, Baruch ben Bracha, Bill Dunk, Mina Batmalka, Brian Goldberg, Brian Padveen, Bob Siana, Carol Curtis, Kai Rebus, Dale Vine, David Keith, Duty Muse, Eddie Martin, Eva Stockett, Farida Batmazal, Frank Quinlan, Floyd Truitt, Frida Beeler, Gary Getz and family, Andrea Derowinko, Benya Gottfried, Hazel Ash, Ida Silverstein, Iris Kelly, Irma Freudenreich, Jane Wills, John Bassett, John Miller, John Van Natta, Lawrence Levy, Lisa Lappin, Louise Pennington, Malka Batyeta, Marilyn Stark, Marilyn Padveen, Mike Box, Misha Natanzan, Neil Davis, Norm Bader, Paul Varner, Philip Gutman, who is recovering from COVID right now, Richard Sanders, Richard Weisberg, Ron Feller, Rose Lerner, Rosalind Mandel, Sandy Kurlander, Sandra Brooks, Sheila Schumann, Stacy Parker, Tom Graff, Vicky Van Natta, Roberta Hurwitz, Rhoda Dubin, Sarah Budlebeva, Gary Fusen, Sarah Isaac. For all the names that have been said and the names that haven't been said. For those we have the courage to say aloud or the discretion to say silently in our hearts. For all those for whom we pray and those who have no one to pray for them, may all our prayers be heard.
מקור הברכה יעבודנו. Blessed ZHENYA healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say
Our prayers for those in healing are extremely important, and as important are those who we are remembering who have gone and passed away. We remember traditionally all those who passed away in the month of May. If somebody is observing a yahrzeit in May that I don't have on my list, please feel free to chat it in. Tommy Munger, Reva Kramer, Ruth Gerhart, Edith Levy, David Auerbach, Beverly Litt, Evelyn Lovett, David Sayevitz, Lester Nussbaum Sr., Victor Rosen, Jolan Halpern, Morton Wallach, Erwin Gottfried, Philip Salkin, David Rosenberg, William Denbina, Benjamin Hirsch, Sadie Nussbaum, Harold Gordon, Robert Koresh, William Hulland, Irving Beigel, Ernest Graff, Cliff Smith. We also remember those who've passed away more recently, among them Mirta Morquin, Raymond Alcala, Emma Hirsch Phillips, Don Costantino Kinatator, and of course, ZHENYA LEBEDEVA. We also are remembering, who passed away the other day, a man named Paul Lewis, who had come to Temple Beth Torah a few times, and his wife Maria, and he had both converted to Judaism in New Orleans and lived a wonderful Jewish life together, and he passed away just this week. Miss Dawn Costantina Kinatator was a May yard site who will be added. Our hearts are happy when we are able to remember dear ones who have been so beloved to us. And even though the sadness comes with it, we offer the Kaddish. Kaddish, the holy moment that says this was a person or people who have helped make us who we are. And so whatever your tradition is in saying Kaddish, as you recite it at home, standing or seated, however you do it, we offer these words that connect us together, both with the loved ones of the past and with each other to form community. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mavarach le'olam umei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May the one who sends peace to those who mourn send peace and comfort to all those who grieve, now and forever. We all say amen. So we have an opportunity as we remember those in need of healing, and we remember those who have passed away. We also acknowledge the simchas, the happy things, the blessings that we have. One of them, of course, CANTOR VADIM TUNITSKY has a birthday today. I don't know if he wants to tell us how old he is.
Absolutely, 68.
68, my goodness. My goodness, Mazel Tov. And does anyone want to chat in another blessing? Who has another blessing that they're going to let us know about? We unmute for a moment. Someone have a blessing?
Mazel Tov, Vadim, from Machatenim.
Yay! Yes. Anyone else have a blessing? Somebody found out today that they are the #1 person is selling credit cards. Way to go, Donna. You've.
My daughter's moving back from Hawaii next week. I'm very excited.
Which daughter?
Rachel.
Rachel. Sounds good. All right. 39 years for Thomas and Iris Graff.
Oh, wow.
Mary. Mazel Tov. Other blessings. Catherine has a new niece, who was born on April 30th, and she was able to come home to her parents this past Sunday. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, Alex came in to say happy birthday to his brother. And yes, other blessings, any other blessings we have?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Vadim.
Excellent.
Happy birthday to everybody who has today the date of birth. We have here poet Yuri Bunchik, and he wrote small poetry dedicated to memory of Zhenyka. If you don't mind, he will read it right now. In Russian, sorry.
Go for it.
It's just 1 minute. Ирочка, давай. Давай, сядь сюда, встань, чтобы тебя было видно.
Everybody, I say a few words in English and in Russian. This poem I wrote in memory of Zhenyka Lebedeva. It's in Russian, but I really, who understands Russian will understand me. Who is not, I'm sorry. It's just in Russian. Я прочитаю по-русски. Я знаю, что люди уходят. Я знаю, что тоже уйду. Но время ведь зря не проходит. И снова деревья в цвету. Опять зеленеют березы. И песни поют соловьи. Мы плачем о мертвых, и слезы о памяти льем и любви. Любовь остается навеки, и жизнь начинается вновь. Когда больше нет человека, душа его есть и любовь. Душа никуда не уходит, ведь Женечка будет всегда. Опять расцветает природа, опять молодеют года.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Sorry, I'm sorry it's in Russian. I couldn't translate it into English.
Yes, poetry is like music where you can hear the feeling. So even if you don't understand the words, it's like a ballet with words. Beautiful. Andrea Drawinko, I had a birthday on May 13th. And my wife, we talked about last week, she finished her classes for her undergraduate degree. And this week, she found out that she was accepted into graduate school. So we're not going to chant 4 more years. We're hopefully chanting 1 more year, but Mazel Tov to Lauren, who's put so much work into her studies. And so for the blessings of birthdays, the blessings of anniversaries, the blessings of academic accomplishments, the blessings of so many people who came from all over to worship with us tonight and to remember ZHENYA, to a mother, a 98-year-old woman, and to all the mothers, because tonight was not a memorial service for one woman. Tonight was a way to acknowledge we all have a mother we care about, someone who gave us life. And so for all these blessings and more, we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, God, ruler of all, who keeps us in life, who sustains us, enabling us to reach this joyous time. We all say, Amen.
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 Shema kolenu Adonai Eloheinu, ruach haolam. Hear our voice, O Lord our God, Spirit of the world. Dear God, tonight is a night of transitions, transitioning from one book of Torah to another. Dear God, remember to remind us to take that time we need, the breaks that we need, to take the time on Shabbat, to take the time after years of doing one thing to try something new, to be able to rejuvenate ourselves, to be able to continue to walk down the path. Let us always remember those who gave us life. Let us always remember those who've inspired us. Let us continue to honor the elders and continue to bring strength and continue to know that the elders who are with us give us strength. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strong, and we will be stronger. For all these blessings, we come together to be blessed. Cantor, are you on mute? We need to unmute the cantor. Where is he? Cantor, can you unmute yourself? There we are. God blesses you and protects you. God's face shines upon us and is gracious unto us. God's presence is with us and gives us peace. Kenya Yiratzon, may this be God's desire, and we all say, Amen. Savrei L'chaim, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, Borei peri hagafen. Blessed are you, God, creator of the world, who brings us fruit from the vine. Amen. And we drink a toast to life, L'chaim.
L'chaim. To life, L'chaim. L'chaim, L'chaim, to life. If you've been lucky, then Monday was not worse than Sunday was. Drink L'chaim to life, L'chaim. L'chaim, L'chaim to life. One day it's honey and raisin cake, next day a stomach ache. Drink L'chaim to life. All great men have written words, all wisdom to be used, when hardship must be faced. The life of life is us with hardship, so the words of wisdom shouldn't go to waste. To us and our good fortune, be happy, be healthy, long life. And if our fortune never comes, it's still whatever comes. Drink L'chaim.
And if our good fortune never comes, here's to whatever comes. Drink L'chaim to life. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 shalom.